Welcome to question number 8. It reads like this. The angle of elevation of the apex of a mountain when viewed from a point P due south of the mountain is alpha. There is a point Q due east of P at a distance D. The angle of elevation of apex of the mountain when viewed from Q is beta. If h is the height of the mountain, prove that h is given by h equals d multiplied by sine alpha multiplied by sine beta whole thing divided by square root of sine square alpha minus sine square beta. Let me describe the situation for you. There is a mountain with apex A and the vertical height of the mountain is h. There is a point P which is due south of the mountain and the angle of elevation when viewed from P is alpha. There is a point Q. The point Q is due east of P. Therefore, the line that is from the base of the mountain, let me call base of the mountain as O. OPQ will be a right angle because OP is due south and PQ is due east. When viewed from the angle of elevation is beta and PQ distance is D. You have to prove that the height h is given by d multiplied by sine alpha multiplied by sine beta, the whole thing divided by square root of sine square alpha minus sine square beta. It's a very simple, quick problem on heights and distances. I won't use only Pythagoras theorem and Pythagorean identity. It's a very simple level 1 problem, maybe carrying 1 mark. But nevertheless, very interesting problem, and let's get to solve it. First, let me draw the situation for you. Let me try to draw as accurate as possible. Let me try. So first I'm going to draw the mountain. Okay, let's say this is the mountain. Let me draw the base of the mountain next. Let's say this is the base of the mountain. Let me name the apex of the mountain as A. And let me name the base of the mountain, which is directly below A, is O. This is O. And the height of the mountain, that is the length AO, is height h. So this is h. Let me mark the point P which is due south of O. This is the point P which is due south of O. Okay, now the angle of elevation of apex A from point P is alpha. That is the angle OPA is equal to alpha. Okay, so the angle alpha is marked like this. So this is alpha. Okay, now there is a point Q which is due south or rather due east of P. So this is point Q. This is point Q which is due east of P. Therefore, the line OPQ is a right angle. Now, the angle of elevation from point Q to A is beta. That is, the angle OQA is angle beta. So this is angle beta. Let me mark the angle beta. Okay, the entire system has 3 right angle triangles. Let me mark the right angles here. That is, AOP is a right angle. This is a right angle. Then angle OPQ is a right angle. Then angle AOQ is also a right angle. Okay, and the distance PQ is D. Let me mark this as D. Now we have to calculate the height h in terms of distance d and the angles of elevation alpha and beta. Let's get about doing it. First, let us consider the triangle AOP. Okay, now in the triangle AOP, tan alpha would be AO, that is the opposite side, which is nothing but h divided by OP. which implies OP equals H divided by tan alpha. And we can write tan alpha as sin alpha divided by cos alpha. Therefore, OP would be H multiplied by cos alpha divided by sin alpha. Let me call this as equation number 1. Okay, now let's go to the next right angle triangle, that is OPQ. Now in the triangle OPQ, OQ is hypotenuse and angle P is right angle. Therefore, OQ square would be OP square plus D square, which is the Pythagoras theorem, right? Now, OP is given by equation 1 and PQ is nothing but D square. So, we are substituting the value of OP from equation 1. So, that will give me H square Now, if you look at our final answer, there is no cos there. Everything is given in terms of sine. Therefore, I am going to write cos square alpha is 1 minus sine square alpha. Let me call this as equation 2. Let's go to the next right angle triangle, that is AOQ. Now, in triangle AOQ, tan beta would be opposite side, that is AO, which is nothing but H, divided by OQ. Therefore, OQ would be H divided by tan beta. But we can write tan beta as sin beta divided by cos beta. Therefore, OQ will be H multiplied by cos beta divided by sin beta. Now let us square both sides so that we have an expression for OQ square. So OQ square would be squaring both sides. Okay, now again here I don't want cos here, so I want to convert it to sine. Therefore, I'm going to write cos square beta as 1 minus sine square beta. Let me call this expression as equation number 3. I don't need the diagram any further. I'm just going to push it out for more space. Cool. Now let's compare equation 2 and 3. Both are OQ square. Therefore, the RHS must be equal. So comparing 2 and 3. Now we have to solve for H, then we will have the final answer. Let's gather all H terms in one side. Subtract both sides with H square multiplied by 1 minus sine square alpha divided by sine square alpha. So that will give me okay, cool. Now let us take sine square beta sine square alpha as a common denominator in our LHS and simplify the whole thing. Cool. Now if you notice, we have H square sine square alpha and sine square beta. with the plus sign and the same thing with the minus sign. So these two get cancelled. So we have this term and this term getting cancelled. So what we are left out with? We are left out with h square. Let's factor out h square. So you have h square sine square alpha minus sine square beta in the numerator, sine square alpha multiplied by sine square beta in the denominator, and which is equal to d square. Let's simplify this further. So now we are in the home run. So h square would be d square multiplied by sine square alpha sine square beta divided by sine square alpha minus sine square beta, and after that we are going to take square root both sides and arrive at our final answer. Taking square root both sides, you have h equals an expression on the RHS, and you might ask, it should be plus or minus, no on the RHS. Don't worry, let's take only the positive value. Therefore h would be d sine alpha sine beta divided by square root of sine square alpha minus sine square beta, which is our final answer. So prove. Let me box my answer. Okay, so this is the proof. How cool is that? Okay, let's move to question number 9. Thanks for watching.